It's been 11 days since I've been back from my little trip to Arizona, which means it's been 11 or maybe 10 days since I've had this cold. So I'm just telling you, if my voice sounds a little bit wonky, or if I do things like that, if I clear my throat, it's because I still have a cold 11 days later. Or COVID. I don't think so, but I guess it could be. But it's been a while since I've had this little problem. Today I'm going to talk about, hey, Bon Jovi, New Jersey. How about that? What a big surprise that is. There's something that people call, people call it a guilty pleasure. And a guilty pleasure is meant to insinuate that you feel guilty for something, for liking something, whether it's music or a movie or something. I guess it's something that the masses don't approve of. They wag their finger at you for liking it, and you're meant to feel guilty. I don't see it that way, but I also don't, want to. Some people get very angry at that term. They're taking it literally. Of course, nobody should ever feel guilty for liking anything. That's pretty obvious. So let's just say that Bon Jovi, or as a band, or New Jersey, the CD, and here it is right here. We'll call it a guilty pleasure, though that is not meant to be taken literally, a guilty pleasure. It's something that is definitely, probably for people who know me, who know my taste in music, know what I like. If you've seen me talk about other music, Bon Jovi is definitely a surprise. I don't know what else to say. The reason I wanted to talk about this, I'm in mini Bon Jovi mode lately, and that's because somewhat recently, I guess about a month ago, the band Bon Jovi started their recent tour, and it's receiving scathing reviews and reports of John Bon Jovi having lost his voice, kind of like me, although he started at a much higher level. He has a lot more to lose than I do. And people, as they tend to do on the internet, tore him apart, maybe rightfully so. I guess you could maybe put him up there or down there with David Coverdale's like that. Paul Stanley's been like that for 13 years, I think. Vince Neil that's a whole different story. Don Dokken maybe is like that. So I did watch some videos of Bon Jovi, and I don't think they were as bad as people said. He's definitely not good. He's definitely got some problems. But, and I read comments saying, this guy sucks. He never had a good voice. These are probably people that are 22 years old. And I thought, did he always suck? Well, that's obviously that's a very subjective opinion, whether you liked him or not. I thought at the time, he was a great singer. He was, he wasn't like a Rob Halford or Jeff Tate, Bruce Dickinson, Dio, something like that. But I always thought John Bon Jovi had a pretty good voice. So I thought, let me go back and revisit Bon Jovi. It's been a while. Now, the reason I'm choosing New Jersey to talk about is it is my favorite Bon Jovi album. A little bit of my history with Bon Jovi before I get to the album is I first knew Bon Jovi when the first album came out. The song, I can't remember what song it was on the first album. I know they have a song called Only Lonely. I can't remember if that was from the first album, the self-titled Bon Jovi album, or I should have checked this, or the second album, 7800 Fahrenheit. But I never did like that, and I don't know if I ever bought that first Bon Jovi album. If I did, I never liked it. I can't remember really anything about it. 7800 Fahrenheit was better. I loved the song Tokyo Rose from that album, and maybe something else from that album. And then Slippery When Wet came out, and I liked that a lot. That was a huge album. And then this one, New Jersey, came out. I liked it even more. And I did see them. I saw Bon Jovi twice. I've got some props here, some ticket stubs. They did have cool opening bands. Here's from the first time I saw them, July 12th, 1987, at the CNE Grandstand in Toronto on the massive Slippery When Wet tour with Cinderella. I wrote Cinderella on the ticket 35 years ago. So that 35 years later, I had the foresight when I was 17 years old that I was going to be talking about this when I'm 53 years old on YouTube, and so I wrote it so I would remember. So this was Bon Jovi and Cinderella, summer of 1987, and then from this New Jersey tour, June 12th, 1989, with Skid Row. Skid Row opened that show. My friend died that night. He died, I found out the next morning, he died in a motorcycle accident. the night of this concert. Mike Gottwald was my friend, died on that night. That's one of my memories of this concert. And I was not a massive Bon Jovi fan, but I did like them well enough, obviously, to see them twice, to buy. I never bought anything after New Jersey. I've not spent 1 cent on, or peso on Bon Jovi since 1988 was when New Jersey came out. I did buy John Bon Jovi's solo album. Blaze of Glory was the song. I think that was the album too. I should have checked that too. But so not a massive Bon Jovi fan, but I have been getting into them, and I thought, I'm going to listen to New Jersey, and I liked it. I think it's still, it's obviously it's very cheesy. It was a good snapshot of the time. This album was huge. For anybody that wasn't around, you have no idea. You can go and look it up, and you can see it sold, I don't know how many times it went platinum in the US, at least, I would guess 6, maybe 8 or 9, I don't even know. But a lot, and it was a huge album. Every song, it seems, from that album was a big hit, and that was really at the height of the MTV video era. Hair bands, looks were very important. Some people call this hair metal, glam metal, cock rock, whatever you like to call it, and you could call them anchovy or Bon Phony, or everybody had all these funny little names. If you didn't like a band, you gave them a nickname that sounded like their band. It was meant to be derogatory, like anchovy. I'm not sure it's detrimental or derogatory about anchovy, Bon Phony, whatever. But there you go. So that's my little Bon Jovi introduction. Now to get to the album, this was it was produced by Bruce Fairbairn, who is a big producer of these very slick albums. I think he also did Aerosmith Permanent Vacation in 1987, which is one of only a few Aerosmith albums I ever bought. It was the first one. And Bruce Fairbairn, he later did Kiss Psycho Circus. Huge, I guess, producer for all these kind of huge sounding albums. And this was in the vein of Def Leppard, Hysteria, which came out the year before in 1987. Kiss jumped on this bandwagon, I think, with I guess Crazy Nights, although this came after Crazy Nights. Maybe Kiss took a little bit after Slippery When Wet. Kiss was always following whatever the hot bands were doing, going all the way back to disco. So getting to this, the first song was a big hit, Lay Your Hands on Me, which was pretty cool and pretty unique for that time. It was, it had a cool kind of a build up to it. Everybody knows that the drums and it started quiet and it got up, and then it went into the song. It was a big song, huge video with fireworks and pyro and everything. I love Lay Your Hands on Me. If you're ready, I'm willing and able. Help me lay my cards out on the table. You're mine and I'm yours, and you're mine for the taking. Right now, the rules we made are made for breaking. What you get ain't always what you see, but your satisfaction is guaranteed. I think Lay Your Hands on Me is a fucking awesome song. I love it. I don't care what you think. Bad Medicine is next. Bad Medicine is maybe even a bigger song. That was I think that was the first single on the album. And again, a great video. They gave these, I don't know what format it was, high 8 video camera or something like that, to a bunch of fans. They played in a big arena. I don't know if it was Madison Square Garden or where it was, and they gave them, and some fans filmed the video, and fans got up on stage. I love that video, and I love that song. And I listened to this today, and it made me think of that it could be a soundtrack for COVID. He says, I need a respirator because I'm running out of breath. Just like, sorry, but COVID, some COVID people. I need a respirator because I'm running out of breath. You're an all-night generator wrapped in stockings and a dress. When you find your medicine, you take what you can get. Well, if there's something better, baby, then they haven't found it yet. Something along those lines. Bad Medicine. Born to Be My Baby, kind of not quite a ballad. It's typical of this. This whole album was about like friendship and like relationships, male-female love relationships. That was how things were back then. That was how every band was, except Slayer and Motorhead. Born to Be My Baby, very sappy, very cheesy. I love that song. Because you were born to be my baby, and baby, I was made to be your man. They say baby a lot on this album, not just on this song, but I think this album has a lot of babies, like George Costanza. So born to be my baby, you were born to be my baby, I was made to be your man. Close the door, it's a bumpy ride. Buckle up, baby. I'm not going to sing that song or any song. Living in Sin, back-to-back ballads. Or as I said, maybe Born to Be My Baby is not exactly a ballad. Living in Sin, ooh, it's about a guy, I guess, presumably John Bon Jovi and his girlfriend, who they lived together. They weren't married, but they lived together, which was quite shocking in 1988. And he don't care about no preacher, or he don't care about your father, what your father says. I don't need no license to sign on no line, and I don't need no preacher to tell me you're mine. I don't need no new diamonds. I don't need no new bride. I just need you, baby, to look me in the eye. And and I know we have a hard time and your parents don't approve, but I don't need your daddy telling us what we should do. Well, there's a million questions they could ask about our lives. I'm getting angry singing this song. I don't know why. Anyway, Living in Sin, another winner. There we go. 4 songs, 4 massive hits. Blood on Blood is the next one. This was not a single, one of the seemingly few that was not a single, but very, as I mentioned a few seconds ago, very friendship. It's about John Bon Jovi, presumably again, similar to Living on a Prayer, talking about, in that song, he talks about Tommy and Gina. In Blood on Blood, he talks about Danny. Danny knew this white trash girl. We each threw in a 10. She took us to this cheap motel and turned us into men. And Tommy, what does he say about, is it Tommy or Tommy, when I got busted stealing cigarettes, Tommy took the rap for me. We cut our hands and Blood on Blood. I like that song a lot. And so we're 5 for 5 on, for me, killer songs. Blood on Blood could even be a favorite only because I didn't have a chance to get burnt out on it the way I did some of these other songs because it wasn't a single. Homebound Train. That's, back to rock, a little bit more of a rocker song. It's okay. It was never a favorite, but it was okay. Wild as the Wind is next. Wild as the Wind. Not exactly a ballad, not exactly a rocker, maybe somewhere in between. Decent, I guess. Again, not a favorite. Ride, Cowboy, Ride. Through the back door to heaven. No. Through the back door to heaven, to the other side. I want to know what's dangerous about a kiss at midnight, something like that. It's a short song. It's only about 1.5 minutes, but I like that song a lot, Ride, Cowboy, Ride, which kind of is a little bit of an introduction to Stick to Your Guns. That's another one, I guess, not quite a ballad, but not quite a rocker either, maybe in the vein of Wild as the Wind. No, that song's okay. I'll Be There For You. This is another ballad, maybe the best of all these ballads, and maybe the cheesiest too. And I don't know why I like the songs on this album, because I can't stand some of those songs, like Def Leppard, Hysteria. For me is maybe, depending on how you want to quantify this, the worst album ever recorded in the history of recorded music. Now, obviously, I haven't heard every album, and there are, I'm sure, albums that I would hate more, but it's from bands that I don't like, like, I don't know who, but Aha, or Mr. or Platinum Blonde, or Culture Club, or I don't know who, bands that I never get into. But for bands that I liked at one point, Def Leppard, Hysteria, I thought sucked, was the worst ever. This is very similar, as I mentioned earlier, but I love it. And I think especially I'll Be There For You, these 5 words, I swear to you. When you breathe, I want to be the air for you. I'll be there for you. I'd live and I'd die for you. I'd steal the sun from the sky for you. Words can't say what love can mean, something like that. I'll be there for you. That's horrible singing, whether I have a cold or not. I'm not making an excuse for my bad vocal performance for having a cold, but it doesn't help. 99 in the Shade is next. That's a fantastic song, very fun song. 99, I'm a Celsius guy, I'm not a Fahrenheit guy, but I did know that 99 in the shade refers to the temperature. 99 degrees, being that it's so hot. This album was originally going to be called Sons of Beaches. Bon Jovi was going to go for a beach summer atmosphere. And 99 in the Shade, it's a good, I guess a lot of people would call it like a good summer song, a party song. I guess it doesn't sound the same as saying 36 in the shade or 37 in the shade, whatever 99 Fahrenheit converted to Celsius is. And he talks about, that's another, which one did I mention that's kind of like that? I'm not sure, but 99 in the Friends, he talks about Tommy in this song. He said, Tommy and Gina from Living on a Prayer. He mentions, even Tommy's coming down tonight if Gina says it's all right. So Tommy has to get permission from Gina to go to the party, I guess down at the beach. And John Bon Jovi says, I'm going to see the senoritas lying under the sun. They'll be living it up with their stereos on. I want to be their blankets just to tell every girl, hey, baby, you're the one. I can't relate to a lot of that stuff because I didn't live near a beach. We only get about 4 sunny days a year in Canada, where I lived at this time. And so we didn't really lie around on beaches. And also he mentions, I got the radio blasting in my old man's Chevrolet. My old man never had a Chevrolet. My dad never had a Chevrolet. He had a Datsun, he had an Impala, he had a Volare, but he never had a Chevrolet. So I couldn't relate to 99 in the Shade. I still love it. Killer song. And it is a very fun, up-tempo rocker song. And the last one is Love for Sale. That's a little kind of a fun, very, very cheesy. That's another cheesy song. John Bon Jovi is, I don't know what he's doing on that song. Acting happy, and you're meant to think that he's having a drink and he's smiling and laughing, and maybe he was. But I do like that song, despite the heavy layers of cheese on it. Love for Sale, kind of an acoustic. Love for Sale, Love for Sale, fun song. So there it is. Bon Jovi, New Jersey. I guess, when did Richie Sambora leave Bon Jovi? It must be now 12 years ago, around 2010, 2011. And I thought he'd be back pretty soon. I just thought he and John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora and John Bon Jovi together would whatever little differences they had, that they would put them aside and Richie Sambora would come back. He's been gone quite some time now. I don't know if he'll ever come back. But I did think some years ago, I went through a mini Bon Jovi phase some years ago. If Richie Sambora ever comes back to Bon Jovi, I think I'll open my doors to Bon Jovi again and spend money on them as a band, to spend money on Bon Jovi for the first time since this album in 1988. I like it a lot. Bon Jovi, New Jersey. Nothing wrong with it. If you're a hardcore metal fan, you're gonna thumb your nose at it, of course. I guess thumb your nose at it. And man, did girls ever love Bon Jovi. Oof. There was, I think, more than Motley Crue, more than who else was like that? Cinderella, Skid Row, Aerosmith, Poison. I think Bon Jovi was the kings of girls at their concert. It was really something. As I said before, if you weren't there, you have no idea what a huge band Bon Jovi was for girls and guys. So yes, there it is. Hey, Bon Jovi, New Jersey.